right, folks, everybody loves January because it feels like a clean slate and clear skies are guaranteed. But if you've lived any amount of life or built anything, you know the wind shifts whenever it wants. So today isn't a resolutions episode, it's a weather strategy episode. How to build umbrellas that work when the rain comes sideways, and how to stack the deck for clear days in 2026. So before we get into it, here comes the rain.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Sideways Rain. It is a new year, new Sideways Rain in 2026. We're so excited to be here on the second day of the year. Man, JR, can't believe we're in another year doing this, but you guys heard what JR said at the top of this episode. We're not doing New Year's goals this year. We're talking about New Year's weather. And you know our format here. We like to talk about the storm, the umbrella, and then the clear skies at the end. So I can't wait to get into today's topic with you all.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Kris. It's we're recording. It's January 2nd. No days off for us, right? Friday, January 2nd, we're jumping in. So let's talk about the storm. Just before this, we started here. I pulled some stats, and there's a big storm around resolutions. 40 to 45% of y'all that make New Year's resolutions will fail in the first month. That's crazy, right? So, but the cool part is
positive, JR.
Yeah. The cool part is if you make it through the first month, 45% of people will continue for up to 2 years. So buckle down, get through the first month. And our goal today at the end of this podcast, we're going to give you some tools to get through the first week. That'll set you up for success in the first month. So some more stats that I pulled. Only 30% of Americans actually make New Year's resolutions, which is incredibly low. Everybody I talk to does it. What about you, Kris?
So it's funny you say that. I started off, I was one of those, I didn't write down things. I didn't really set goals. I just kind of went into the new year wanting to be at least the same that I was last year, or maybe a little bit better, but I never wrote out a plan on how I was going to achieve that. But for these last 3 years, I've kind of changed that. And every year has been so much more successful and fulfilling for me when I write things down, when I set obtainable goals, and when I check those boxes at the beginning of the next year. It's amazing how much you can see that you've accomplished in such a short time. So I do agree that writing down your goals and making them obtainable, not setting these lofty goals that really feel like a weight bearing down on you every day. Just the small wins that add up to huge wins at the end of the year. I couldn't attest to that more.
Yeah, make them attainable. That's huge. And we'll talk about this in a little bit. Don't set 5 goals. Just pick one. Like just go for one. Yeah. You don't have to be a superhero. But shout out to all the young people out there. You take the lead on this. Pew found 49% of people 18 to 29 actually make a resolution versus adults over 50. Over 50% don't make a resolution. Adults over 30, sorry, over 58% don't make a resolution. So it's young people out there really pushing this thing. And most of it, almost 80%, of y'all, it's about health, exercise, and diet. Welcome to America, where the food is fast and it's not lean. So, and the next priority was money or finances. So, talking about food, weight, money, and finances. That sounds very American.
Most definitely. So JR, I gotta ask: have you always been one to write down your goals for the year? What's been your process?
Yeah, I always do. I typically make the mindset, I like to challenge myself. So if I write it down, it's rare that I fail, but I always make them attainable, and I always only have one. Yeah. But yeah, long-term success rate, like I said, if you can make it through the first month, you're going to crush it. So let's get through that first month, and we'll talk about today how to make those achievable and create some clear sky moments in 2026. So the first thing is a lot of people create this false optimism, like the calendar turns, it's 2026, it's January 2nd, or, we're going to publish this on the 5th. You think, it's just going to be a brand new day, but to be real, like I walked in my office today and it looked exactly the same. So, maybe squash that false optimism and be real with yourself.
That's always hard too, right? Because you want to come in with a fresh mind, you want to hit the ground running, you want to have this new mindset, and everything feels the same. It's just the dates changed.
Yeah.
And that's where, like we said, forecasting those small wins, making those small changes in your day-to-day that really bring value, that's where you'll see the results.
Yeah. One of my little things is like reducing clutter. I think like, you look behind me though, and there's just like noise everywhere. Visual noise is noise. And then I got in my car this morning and my skis were still in there from the 26th. And, there's a Starbucks cup in the cup holder. I don't even have anywhere to put my coffee. So yeah, be easy on yourself. Give yourself some leeway. Yeah,
definitely.
Just be real with yourself. You know who you are.
Ease into things. Don't try to make a hard switch, because it just makes it harder on yourself to sustain that.
Yeah.
You want to be able to be consistent while also being efficient, but things take time, you don't say you want to go to the gym and then 2 months later you're in the best shape of your life. Like, that stuff takes time. So build good habits, be open to trying new things, and be okay with sticking with some old habits that may bring you comfort and efficiency in your new endeavors. So it's always a fun challenge, but like JR said at the beginning, you always want to challenge yourself because you never know what you can achieve.
Yeah, I've been working out at home for quite a few years now, but I know, Kris, you go to the gym. What do you see this time of year? Mm-hmm. Is it hard to get a machine?
Oh my gosh. Yes. The treadmill is like it's like the hottest thing in the gym.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't get one. Like, I went to the gym this morning and this was the first time in the last 3 days that I've been able to get the treadmill.
Wow.
For 15 minutes. It's that many people. Yeah. And kudos to them, but it's funny you say that because I've been going to the gym consistently ever since I can remember. Being a former athlete, playing basketball, recreationally working out, I'm always in the gym. And to see the trends that happen from December to that first month of January in the new year, it never changes, where the volume of people, the New Year's resolutioners that are in the gym, it's great. Everyone's there to work out. Everyone has these lofty goals. And then soon as February hits, it's back to a desolate morning. No one's there. Only the people that were there in July and June, you're still seeing those around. And it goes to kind of our point that we're driving home today. The consistency falls off very quickly because the goals are too lofty. The goals aren't sustainable. The goals aren't building consistent patterns. And you see that day to day simply in the example of going to a public gym. And it's amazing to see. And it makes you also have a different respect for those that have the consistency to go to the gym, rain, sleet, or snow.
Sure.
They're in there, no matter what's going on in the world. So it's all learning, the way that I look at it.
Yeah. Back when I was going to the gym, it was always like the same, 12 to 20 people that you'd see February 1st through December. But that January, I was always like, all right, we need to make it through this month. It'll be back to normal pretty quickly. And folks, yep. This is why they lock you into a 1-year contract. They know this is going to happen.
Yep.
So stick with it. The other problem we talked about at the top is too many priorities equals none done. So if you have more than 2 or 3 priorities, or even one, you don't really have priorities. So just pick one and go for it. I just had the pleasure of attending Alex Hormozy's scaling workshop in Vegas last month. And the same goes for business. You can only deal with one restraint at a time. And when you deal with it, just go all in on it, fix that thing, and then move on to the next one. If you're trying to tackle 10 things, whether it's in a business or a New Year's resolution, you're not going to do any of them well. It's just going to take a long time. So just go after that one thing, accomplish it, and then move on to the next one. And if you get it done in 2 months, say it's just like daily, mindset shift, or you want to do meditation every day and you get into that rotation and you accomplish that quickly, you don't need to wait for the new year to pick a new one. Just get started and pick another day. When it comes down to it, January 1st is just an arbitrary date and time. So just make your own resolutions anytime you want.
Most definitely. I couldn't agree more. And I definitely was one of those people that learned the hard way with trying to set too many priorities at the beginning of a year and being overwhelmed and not really making progress in any of them just because there's so much on your plate. So scaling that down in these last few years has helped me tremendously as well. And like you said, you'd be surprised at how fast you achieve some of the things that you set for yourself. And sometimes it doesn't feel like what you thought it would feel like. And that's the perfect opportunity to create a new challenge, because you don't need to wait for a date to go out and achieve something that comes to mind.
Yep.
And that's what we're really preaching here. Like, if there's something that you want to be better at, put it down on paper, find a plan to do it, and see how fast you can achieve it. And make sure that you retain the lessons that go through that, Like when people set their minds to working out is just not about going to the gym. So it's a whole lifestyle. So it means sacrifices. It means changing habits. And that's hard. Just as hard as going to the gym, choosing not to eat certain things. So it's all little decisions that add up to the big achievement that you're looking to obtain at the end. And the journey is part of the beauty of it as well.
Yeah, a lot of it's just mindset shift. Somebody said this to me at some point. I heard it on a podcast. It was something along the lines of, you never regret having gone to the gym, but you always regret not going. So just get your ass up, get to the gym, get in there. Even if it's only for 15 minutes, there's a sense of pride in that. So there's a power in the repetition. Let's just make it happen.
Most definitely.
The next big detractor from these resolutions is noise. And we see it more and more nowadays, especially with social media. Are you scrolling? Are you reacting? Are you too available? Just block all that noise out. Maybe there's apps now where you can block out certain apps on your phone during certain parts of the day and just really buckle down and get it. And I heard something the other day is like, everybody wants to be exceptional, but nobody wants to be the exception. So stop going back to the mean. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else and saying like, well, they did X, Y, Z and they were successful. Like what people don't see is the work behind the scenes to be exceptional. And people only cheer when you start and when you finish, and all the work in between isn't seen. So that's where you really have to be the exception and buckle down and get the work done if you want to be exceptional.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And the most important thing that I feel to tag on to that is always remember that everyone's race is different. Everyone's path to the finish line is different. And the moment you start to compare yourself to someone else or someone else's successes, when they've happened, why they haven't, that's where things become so much harder for you as personally. And just always reminding yourself that things happen when they're supposed to happen. And you never let those things put you down. Obviously, you're going to have emotions sometimes about certain situations, and that's human, right? But you always overcome, you always persevere, you always progress and move forward. The moment that you fall into, well, why does this person have it and I don't? Or why was this person successful and I wasn't? That's not for you to dwell on, Reinvest that energy into yourself to continue, and your time will come. And I've seen that through my personal career, through my personal business journey. You just got to continue to push forward, be willing to learn from the experiences that come your way, and eventually the success will pay off.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't say anything that will supplement that. So let's just let that sit where it is.
Mic drop.
Yeah, mic drop. So let's move on to.
We got to get a mic drop We got to get a mic drop button now for 2026. Whenever.
Correct. I have some sound effects, but they don't come through. So we'll fix it someday. We'll up the production value.
That's one of my goals for 2026 for Sideways Rain. We're gonna bring a mic drop button.
Yeah, we'll make it analog. Just bring some instruments in and just make it happen.
Let's do it.
Umbrella. Like, how do we set up umbrella moments and set ourselves up for success? The first thing is something we've said 3 times now, is just pick one thing. And I mean, this is a business podcast, so let's talk about it from a business perspective. As you look at Q1, pick one thing that you want to build this quarter and go all in. But also put together a not list of things that you're not going to do this quarter. So to protect that focus. And anytime you get distracted, say, is this going to help me accomplish my one thing? And if it isn't, don't do it.
Yeah, most definitely. The next thing is a not list. Writing down some of the things that you may not be doing that at the beginning of the year you said you wanted to be doing. Why aren't you doing these things? So the not list, funny enough, I've actually had a huge learning from doing something similar to this not list in my photography business, where I started off being a photographer as a hobby, and it quickly turned into a business. However, I'm one of those photographers that, believe it or not, doesn't really share a lot of my work anywhere because it's a hobby. It's not for anyone else's eyes but myself. However, from a business standpoint, that doesn't really help me because no one has seen my work, right? So one of the things that I realized that I wasn't doing, and I actually set this goal a few weeks ago, was I don't post on social media. I don't post on any social platforms, any of the projects that I've completed in the past. I've made it an effort to start posting and marketing some of that material. Simple change, just post more on social media. I already have the content, it just sits on my computer. The amount of engagement that has sparked for me and the amount of business opportunities that has brought to me, I could not have foreseen, just from a simple change of posting consistently on different platforms.
Yep.
And that was something that I wrote down on my not list, that I'm not doing anything with my photography. Why is that? Made a simple change and I saw instant results, which have spiderwebbed, of course, into all these other great things that I want to do now. But that's just a small example of really drilling down and just asking yourself, what is something that you want to be doing that you're simply not, and taking action on that.
That's awesome. Well, I'll have to follow you. I don't think I follow you on Instagram, so we'll figure it out.
Most definitely. Pure.lenz, Pure Lens, nice. On the Instagram. If anybody's interested, I'm building my portfolio, so no judgment. More pictures and videos will be coming, but we're just getting started.
Yeah, I think the key word you had there was consistency. A lot of people will post for a day or a week and not get the engagement they want, and they'll give up. But it's about repetition. Yep. Like, look at our podcast, right? Like, we started and we made a commitment at the beginning. We're going to do 15, 20 episodes no matter what. And that was huge for us because we didn't really build an audience until midway through. And now when people find us, they can look back and say, like, oh, look at all the content these guys have and they put together, and it legitimizes you. So don't have the expectation you're going to go viral on day one. It just doesn't happen. So keep going, test what works, A/B test things, get the feedback, and then find what works and keep doing that thing.
Most definitely. And we've definitely have had our challenges with Sideways Rain. For those that don't know, when we started this thing, we said no matter what, we're going to do an episode every Friday.
Yeah.
And we quickly realized that having families, having other lives outside of work, that's a tough thing to do consistently every week. Yeah. And there have been times where we've taken 2 weeks off, not doing an episode, but like JR said, consistently hitting that number of episodes that we want to do. It's been very fruitful and enjoyable. And I feel like we've built a great relationship, and we've had some amazing guests come on the show.
For sure.
To talk about so many different topics. So I think it's been a win.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to give yourself grace in those moments. Like, we hit the beginning of December and you and I were like, this month is crazy. And we just said, you know what, let's come back after the new year and make it happen. So yeah, just give yourself grace, but get back after it when you have time. The next item I have is it's the weekly weather report. So take a moment to be intentional about what your week was. Write down what sideways rain hit this week, what umbrella worked for you, and what clear sky moment did we create through that. And by thinking about it and doing the act of writing it down, you'll retain it and you'll have that skill for next time. So just a quick recap of your week. Take 15 minutes on Fridays, do those few things, and you can really set yourself up for success.
Most definitely. And writing it down is the important part as well. Don't be that person that thinks that they can remember it all in their head and then take action on it.
No.
Writing it down helps a ton.
Yeah.
Next we have the calm on the surface.
Yeah.
The calm on the surface rule. So when pressure spikes, fewer words, fewer decisions, slower pace, quiet power over frantic motion energy. So JR, do you have any examples to share with the calm on the surface rule? Maybe from your own personal experience?
I mean, it's like every day, especially with live events, we say at 180, be the duck, which is calm on the surface, paddling like hell underwater. Every live event we produce, whether we prepared the right way or not, is going to have sideways rain come at you. You're going to have slides change or presenters not show up or rehearsals skipped or show flows change. And when those things happen, you have to be the duck and be the one that says, no problem, we got it covered. Or no problem, I need an extra 5 minutes, get that thing done and keep going. And then, paddle like hell to get it done. So, be the duck is the mantra. And as we go into like 2026, we're going to try to be more efficient ducks. So using the tools that we have to make sure that each stroke is more powerful. That's the metaphor for 26 for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mike.
What does winning in 26 actually look like? Probably like people talk about the Sunday scaries. I don't like this necessarily, and because a lot of people talk about it through the lens of like, hey, just sit down on Sunday and get a few things done so you go into Monday fresh. I like to just do that on Friday. Just put a bow on Friday, put a bow on your week, especially if you got family at home, significant others. Like, don't have that stuff hanging over you. You'll be a better father, significant other, friend, etc. if you just put a bow on that week. Spend the extra 15 minutes in the office so you can have your weekend. Don't do it on Sunday. If you do it on Sunday, fine. But I'm just not a do it on Sunday kind of guy. If you're ready for the week on Friday afternoon, then you don't have Sunday scaries and you can go in Monday fresh. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. If you have Sunday scaries, you lose a day of your weekend.
Yeah. Because
that stuff lives rent free on your conscience. It stresses you out.
Yeah.
And you're most and foremost probably not getting paid for it.
Right.
So knock it out on Friday, even if it takes an extra 30 minutes, and just clear your head for 2 days.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Kris. We could lightning round each other.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so I'll start off first. What's the most overrated New Year's advice?
I
know there's a lot.
There is a lot. I think it's the grit mindset. Like, you can do anything if you try hard enough, and that's just not. I don't think that's good enough as advice, and it's not helpful. People need tangible ways to accomplish their goals, and whether it's repetition or having a mentor or telling a friend, like tell a friend, have them hold you accountable. And if you fail, like, hey, tell your friend, like, hey, if I fail at this, tell me I fucked up. Like, tell me. I want to know. Just having somebody in your corner is super helpful, at least for me, especially when it comes to like health or fitness goals. If I have somebody saying like, hey, you missed a workout, what the hell? That's a big deal to me. Like, I don't want to be called out on that shit. So, so you don't have to grit and bear it alone. Bring your tribe into this. Like, tell your friends, tell your family what you're up to. Actually, the more people you tell, the more accountable you'll feel to it, and the more people you'll have to support you throughout the process.
Love that.
Yeah.
Great answer. Couldn't agree more.
If you failed your New Year's resolution, would it be devastating to you, Kris?
Devastating. I wouldn't use the word devastating. It would be disappointing.
Yeah.
And it would cause me to really backtrack and understand why I didn't reach that goal. And it would be devastating if the reason was laziness or not prioritizing. It's just you didn't do it.
Yeah.
You weren't consistent enough to bring that to life. I would say that would be devastating, because then it'd be self-reflecting inward and saying, I didn't live up to the best of my abilities this year, and there's not a reason for it. I just chose not to. But I haven't necessarily had that happen in the past couple of years. It's definitely happened to me before, where the answer has just kind of been you just weren't dedicated enough to bring that goal to life.
Yeah.
There's obviously, everyone has things that happen that are unforeseen. You could call them excuses, you could call them reasons, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I would say disappointing over devastating.
Sure. That's fair.
In most cases. Yeah. All right. We'll do one more each. What are you most excited about in 2026?
It's this mindset that I talked about earlier. Focus on one constraint at a time. I feel like that is so simple, but nobody's ever said it to me before. And I've always approached my businesses like I have this handful of things that we're going to accomplish together, and I'm going to work with different people to accomplish different things. And I've never really just like gone all in on an issue. And that's what I'm going to do this year. And so I don't feel like I can fail if I go after it that way. And I'm just really looking forward to taking that new approach and mindset and just saying like, I'm not done until this is done.
Yeah. So I got one follow-up to that. Do you foresee on the second day of January that this will take you the entire year to complete?
No.
The constraint? No. So there is opportunity for you to crush it and then still have 6 to 8 months to play with.
Okay, I'm gonna archive this footage, and then we're gonna bring it back next year and just see where we sit.
Hey, so this is JR telling a friend, telling a colleague what he's doing, and now he's being held accountable.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, last one for you. Did you make it to midnight on New Year's Eve?
Depends if you're asking me or my wife. So I did.
Nice.
However, the 15 to 30 minutes before midnight, I did not.
Okay.
Something woke me up at 11:59.
Nice.
Got the kiss in at New Year's, watched the ball drop, and then I dropped at 12:01.
Yeah.
So yes and no. Did you?
I did sort of by force. The kids were all up and playing, and it was like, all right, we got to make it to midnight. They want to do the, countdown. And then as soon as it hit, we were like, all right, pajamas, teeth, bedtime, let's go.
Yeah. It's so tough. Sometimes it's so tough. If I'm not out and I'm at home, it's very tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, Happy New Year to everybody out there. Let's kill it this year.
Heck yeah, 26. Real quick, close for us. We have like a 7-day clear skies challenge for you. And I'll put this, we'll go through it high level now, but I'll put it in the description and send you a link to a PDF, a fillable PDF that you can do. But here are 7 days, 7 things you can do over 7 days. I'll start day 1. So day 1, I want you to write down 10 things and we'll give it to you. So here they are. My number 1 priority for the next 90 days is what? If I nail that, the payoff is what? The 3 storms most likely to knock me off track are X, Y, and Z. My earliest warning sign that I'm drifting, you know yourself, like what's going to happen? What is that thing? The one boundary I need to protect focus is, fill that thing is, what boundary are you going to create? The one habit I can have that creates momentum is this. So if it's the gym, just up and out, do it, make it happen. What's that thing that you're going to do every day? The one person I'll ask for help or accountability, we talked about that before. It doesn't have to be one person. So I'll put multiple blanks here. Who's going to help you in this process? The one thing that you're not going to do. So we talked about the one thing you're going to do that you're going to accomplish. But what are you not going to do to make that happen? What is your clear sky definition? How will you know you're winning? And my first small win in the next 24 hours will be what? So day 1, this will take you 10 minutes. It's 10 things. We'll create the form for you. You fill in the blanks. This is the course we will chart over the next 7.
Day 2, we like to call this clearing the deck. So you're going to pick one of these things and you're going to do it on day 2. Option number 1 is going to be delete or decline one reoccurring meeting. This speaks volumes to me. Yes. I can't wait to do this on Monday. Next one is turn off one notification category. Option 3 is make a not list of 5 things you won't touch this quarter. So similar to what JR was saying on day 1, but we're going to do a list of 5 things that we're not going to do during the first quarter of the year. And then the last option would be move one lingering decision to a yes or no by the end of the week.
All right, you only have to pick one of those. Super easy day. So day 3, same thing. We're going to build an umbrella. So you only have to pick one of these as well. So 1, you're going to do a weekly 15-minute weather report on Friday like we talked about earlier. What were the storms? What were the umbrellas? What were the clear skies? And what did you learn from it? Number 2, 2-hour deep work block on the calendar. I love this one. Block your calendar. Mine's like every Wednesday afternoon, 2 hours where I'm just going to dive into that thing that I want to accomplish. Number 3 could be a decision rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Mel Robbins, she just put out a new book. I forget the name of it, and it got really popular, but she had one before it. It was called the 5-second rule. If you can make the decision in less than 5 seconds, just do it. Just make it happen. And then the last choice is the default no rule. If it's not your number 1 priority, you're not going to do it.
Simple and straight to the point. I love it. Day 4, we like to call it one hard conversation. So because storms aren't just risks, they're people dynamics. Same thing as day 2 and day 3, we're going to pick one of these options. Option 1 is going to be set a boundary. I can do X, but I can't do Z, right? Option 2, ask for help. I need a second set of eyes on this. As an example. Clarify expectations is going to be option 3. What does or does done mean? That's a good one. I'm going to say that again. What does done mean? Mm-hmm. I often ask that question a lot in my day-to-day, and you would be surprised at how difficult it is to get that question answered, no matter what type of line of work you're in. The last option is going to be close a loop. Make a decision. We're choosing A or we're choosing B. Let's stop having meetings about which one is a pro, which one is a con. We're going to choose one, and we're going to go with that. And then at the end, you're going to write, the conversation I had was blank, and the result was X. That's day 4.
That's a powerful one. I like this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll show you how easy some of these things are too. Man, what does done mean? Oof. Especially if you work on a team, your definition of done might be different than your colleagues or your bosses. You should define that.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Day 5, we're going to call it the 30-minute win. We're gonna rack up a small victory on day 5. So you could send the email you've been avoiding or ask the question you've been avoiding. Draft the outline. So like, what's your 90-day goal? It doesn't have to be the whole masterpiece, but what is the outline of getting that thing done? Get that victory done. You can confirm the next step in getting it done and who the owner is, whether it's you or somebody on the team or somebody working with you. Or build the first version and share it. The first version is just that, the first version. The quicker you can get to it, the quicker you can iterate. Just make the thing. Spend 30 minutes and get it done. And then at the end, right, I shipped blank. My next step is blank. It can show you can stack those victories pretty quickly.
Yeah. Day 6 is the more realistic. I like to call this one like reality. We like to call it the stress test, because as we all know, things don't go according to plan week to week, right? So ask yourself, what happens when the week goes sideways? We're going to pick one scenario out of these 4 options, and then we're going to decide exactly what we're going to do if that scenario were to happen during the week, right? So option 1 is going to be a travel day blows up. Your travel day gets crazy, something changes during your travel, it derails your whole week. How are you going to handle that? Option 2, you have a family emergency. Something unforeseen becomes very critical. How are you going to handle that? Number 3 is a client fire drill. I'm sure we all know this happens more frequently than not. When a client has a huge priority, it needs to be done as soon as possible. How is that going to derail your week, and how are you going to handle it? And then the last option is you've missed 2 days. Let's say you're just not feeling it this week. You get sick. Something happens. You twist your ankle while you're taking the trash out. You take a couple days off. How are you going to handle that? So like we said, day 6 is the stress test. And at the end of this, you're going to write 3 lines. The first one is going to be, if blank happens, I will what? Number 2, I will not blank. What are you not going to do that week, no matter what happens? Number 3, my minimum viable day is blank. And a good example of this is my minimum viable day is a 10-minute walk. That way you know you're still being productive and you're still getting something done in a positive fashion. So at the end of day 6, which we like to call the stress test, these are the things that you should be writing and just have that predetermined plan for to continue to have that efficiency in your week.
Awesome. Let's wrap up the week by scoring ourselves. Everybody likes a grade. Let's try to earn the A. So we're going to score ourselves 0 to 2 on the following. The max you can get is 10, so it's 5 items. So first, I protected my number 1 priority, 0, 1, or 2. I removed 1 friction point. Score yourself. I installed 1 umbrella. Give yourself a score. I shipped 1 small win. And I created clarity with 1 conversation. If you followed the steps that we talked about earlier, you should be 10 out of 10 on this, and it'll feel really good. Then at the end of the week, right, the umbrella I'm keeping is blank, and my next clear sky win by next Friday is blank. So set the same intention for next week, and you know what? If this works for you, just do it again.
Man, love it. I'm going to put this into effect on Monday.
Let's do it.
Report back. Let's see how we do.
For sure. All right, Kris, 2026, just you and I on this one, but we'll have some additional amazing guests coming up this month and throughout the season 2 here. But as always, you know, we took a little break. You and I haven't chatted over the holidays, so it was good to just kind of get warmed up and chat again.
Most definitely. But excited for a new year with you. And to the listeners out there, we're going to be bringing more guests on, like JR said, hopefully some more in-depth conversations about all things business and entrepreneurship and just life. Super excited about this year, and until next time,
we're launching a product. Here we go.
Clock strikes, lights flash, mind race, no slack. Too many plans and they all collapse. Noise loud, scroll down, lost time, no map. Pick one, lock in, don't drift, don't tap. One thing, not list. Deep work, no tricks. Friday ball, cut the thread. Clear the deck inside your head.